or 4:17 a.m. Moscow time. Radar stations across Crimea light up simultaneously. Multiple projectiles inbound. Trajectory analysis confirms ATACMS missiles launched from Ukrainian territory. Target: Sevastopol Naval Base. Flight time: 90 seconds. The Black Sea Fleet headquarters activates crisis protocols. Every screen in the command center displays the same countdown. T-minus 87 seconds. Air defense batteries receive automated engagement orders. S-400 systems track the incoming threat. Pantsir units prepare for terminal phase interception. The duty officer reaches for the red phone. Moscow must know immediately. This is not a drill. This is not a border skirmish. This is a direct strike on Russian sovereign territory as defined by Moscow since 2014. The legal interpretation does not matter now. The missiles do not care about international law. They care about coordinates and warheads. T-minus 72 seconds. The commander faces three options within the global conflict room framework, where every decision reshapes the strategic landscape. Option 1. Pure defense. Trust the interception systems. Let S-400 and Pantsir handle the threat. No escalation. No retaliation. Show restraint. Option 2. Immediate counterstrike. Russian doctrine permits response to aggression. Target: the ATACMS launch sites in Ukraine. Iskander missiles already have coordinates locked. Launch on warning. Strike back within minutes. Option 3. Strategic escalation. Target NATO supply hubs in Poland or Romania. Send the message that Western weapons mean Western responsibility. Make the alliance choose between Article 5 and backing down. T-minus 58 seconds. What should command do first? A. Intercept. B. Strike back. C. Hold fire. The decision tree branches into hundreds of possible futures. Each branch leads to different casualty counts, different alliance responses, different points of no return. The commander knows Moscow is watching. The Kremlin is watching. Putin is watching. The decision made in the next 30 seconds will define Russian credibility for the next decade. T-minus 44 seconds. Intelligence reports confirm 6 ATACMS missiles. Each carries a 500-pound warhead. Targets identified: dry dock facilities, command center, fuel depots, ammunition storage. If all 6 hit, the Black Sea Fleet loses operational capacity for months. Surface ships become sitting targets. Submarine operations compromise. Naval aviation grounds. The entire southern flank weakens. But there is something else in the intelligence brief, something that changes calculations. The ATACMS missiles were supplied by Washington 3 weeks ago. Satellite imagery confirmed delivery to Ukraine. This is not Soviet-era equipment. This is current American technology. This is a Western fingerprint on Russian casualties. T-minus 29 seconds. The S-400 battery commander reports ready to engage. Probability of kill: 85% for first missile, 78% for second. Declining percentages as the battery depletes countermeasures and the missiles employ evasive maneuvers during terminal phase. 4 missiles might get through, maybe 5. The math is brutal and simple. Defense alone means accepting damage. Accepting casualties. Accepting the narrative that Russia cannot protect its own territory. T-minus 18 seconds. The duty officer has Moscow on the line. The voice on the other end is calm but urgent. The question is direct. What are your recommendations? This is the moment. This is where command decisions in the global conflict room become history. The commander states the assessment. Defense systems engaging. High probability of partial success. Significant damage expected regardless. Recommends immediate counterstrike against launch sites. Requests authorization for Iskander launch. The response from Moscow takes 4 seconds. Authorization granted. Strike coordinates only. No NATO territory. Confirm. T-minus 9 seconds. Orders transmit instantly. Iskander mobile launchers receive fire commands. Target coordinates locked. Ukrainian military positions 47 kilometers from Crimean border. 2 missiles, conventional warheads. Launch window, immediately after ATACMS impact. This is calibrated escalation. This is measured response. This is the logic of deterrence playing out in real time across the Black Sea theater of operations, where every action generates an equal or greater reaction. T-3 seconds. Air defense systems engage. Missiles streak upward through the dawn sky. Contrails mark the invisible battle above Sevastopol. The sound reaches the city seconds later. Explosions bloom in sequence. The first ATACMS is intercepted at 4,000 meters. Debris rains into the sea. The second breaks through. Direct hit on the western dry dock. The third is damaged by a near miss but continues. It impacts the fuel depot. Fireball visible for 20 kilometers. The fourth and fifth are intercepted. The sixth evades all countermeasures and strikes the ammunition bunker. Secondary explosions follow. The base shudders. Smoke rises in 3 distinct columns. Casualty reports start flowing immediately. At least 47 dead. Over 200 wounded. 3 ships damaged. Fuel reserves burning. The Black Sea Fleet has been hit. Russia has been hit. And now Russia will hit back. 04:19 a.m. Moscow time. Iskander missiles launch from positions inside Crimea. Flight time to target, 4 minutes. Ukrainian air defense activates, but these are not ATACMS. These are ballistic missiles traveling at Mach 7. Patriot batteries engage. 1 Iskander is intercepted. 1 hits the target. The ATACMS launch site ceases to exist. Crater diameter, 40 meters. No survivors. The Ukrainian command center receives the impact report. 18 personnel killed. Launch equipment destroyed. But the ATACMS mission succeeded. Sevastopol is burning. The footage is already spreading across social media. Satellite imagery confirms the damage. This is the part where escalation dynamics override individual preferences, and both sides find themselves on a ladder they did not intend to climb. NATO headquarters in Brussels convenes an emergency session at 02:21 a.m. local time. The question on the table is stark. Does a Russian counterstrike against Ukraine obligate alliance response? Article 5 covers attacks on member states. Ukraine is not a member, but American weapons were used. American intelligence guided the strike. American satellites provided targeting data. How far does responsibility extend? What happens next determines the next decade. The Polish defense minister argues for forward deployment. Move Patriot batteries closer to the Ukrainian border. Demonstrate resolve. The German chancellor urges restraint. This is a regional conflict, not a world war. Not yet. The American president is briefed aboard Air Force One. The assessment is clear. Russia exercised restraint. They hit the launch site. Not NATO infrastructure, not Polish territory, not American personnel. This is contained escalation. This is the red line holding. For now. But intelligence reports flag a concerning detail. Russian strategic rocket forces elevated readiness status 17 minutes after the Sevastopol strike. Nuclear-capable Iskander units in Kaliningrad received movement orders. Submarines in the Arctic increased patrol tempo. These are not launch preparations. These are signals. These are messages written in military posture that say, "We can go further if you push us." At 06:34 a.m. Moscow time, the Russian president addresses the Security Council. The statement is broadcast live. The language is calibrated. Russia will defend its territory with all available means. Those who supply weapons bear responsibility for their use. There are no safe distances in modern war. There are no observers, only participants. The message is clear without being explicit. Continue escalating, and the definition of targets expands. Keep supplying long-range weapons, and supply depots become legitimate strikes. The Global Conflict Room framework reveals the terrible logic. Both sides are now making decisions based not on what they want, but on what they think the other side expects. This is the spiral. This is how wars grow. Necessary deterrence or dangerous escalation. The debate rages in capitals across both hemispheres. Some analysts argue Russia must respond firmly to prevent further strikes. Show weakness now, and ATACMS hit Moscow next month. Others warn that every counterstrike normalizes escalation. Today, it is Sevastopol and a launch site. Tomorrow, it is Kiev and Warsaw. Next week, it is Berlin and New York. The mathematical progression is clear, even if the probability remains uncertain. By 11 p.m. Moscow time, damage assessment in Sevastopol is complete. 3 ships will require months of repair. Fuel depot fires are contained, but reserves are depleted. The ammunition bunker is a total loss. Casualties reach 73 dead and 312 wounded. The Black Sea Fleet operational capacity is reduced by 30% for the next quarter. But Russia sent its message. The launch site is destroyed. The West knows there will be consequences. Which system activates first in a missile alert? A. Radar. B. Satellites. C. Command link. The answer is B, but the real answer is all of them simultaneously because modern integrated air defense relies on sensor fusion and data correlation across multiple domains, creating redundancy that makes the system resilient, but also creates cascading failure points if the network is disrupted. At 14 Moscow time, NATO releases a statement. It condemns the initial strike on Sevastopol as Ukrainian self-defense. It notes the Russian response as disproportionate. It warns against further escalation. It reaffirms commitment to Ukrainian sovereignty. It does not invoke Article 5. It does not threaten direct intervention. It does not cut weapons supplies. The statement satisfies no one but prevents the worst outcome. War between nuclear powers is avoided. For now. The crisis enters a new phase. Both sides claim victory. Both sides prepare for round 2. Ukraine announces it will continue targeting military infrastructure in occupied territories. Russia announces it will strike weapon storage facilities regardless of location. The definition of location remains deliberately vague. Western intelligence agencies interpret this as a threat to Polish and Romanian depots. Eastern European capitals request additional air defense coverage. American officials promise support but urge de-escalation. If you follow global conflict analysis, type GCR. The cycle continues because neither side can afford to back down, and neither side wants total war. This is the space between peace and Armageddon, where most modern conflicts actually occur. Not the apocalypse, not resolution, just endless calibrated violence. 3 weeks after the Sevastopol strike, reconnaissance satellites detect unusual activity at Russian naval bases. Submarines depart on extended patrols. Surface ships conduct more aggressive maneuvers near NATO vessels. Close encounters increase. Near-miss incidents multiply. Each interaction carries the risk of accident. Each accident carries the risk of escalation. The Black Sea becomes a testing ground for thresholds. How close can ships pass? How many times can radar lock occur without firing? How many violations before someone shoots? These are questions answered through trial and error, through brinkmanship, through luck. The Global Conflict Room analysis reveals the pattern. Both sides are probing limits. Both sides are establishing new normals. What was unthinkable 6 months ago is routine today. What is shocking today will be mundane tomorrow. This is how wars normalize. This is how red lines fade. Strategic outcome: limited escalation contained. Sevastopol absorbed the strike. Russia retaliated proportionally. NATO avoided direct involvement. The latter did not break, but it bent. Lessons from command decisions. Speed matters more than perfection. The commander had 90 seconds, not 90 minutes, not 9 hours. Decisions under that pressure rely on doctrine, training, and instinct. Second lesson: restraint requires strength. Russia could have struck NATO territory. They chose not to. That choice prevented wider war. Third lesson: every weapon supplied has consequences. ATACMS in Ukrainian hands means Russian responses. Cause and effect compressed into flight time and blast radius. Was escalation avoidable? Who bears responsibility? What decision would you make in that room? These questions have no clean answers because the global conflict room exists in the space where clean answers die and hard choices survive. Where strategy meets reality. Where theory meets blood. Subscribe to Global Conflict Room, inside the room where history changes.